Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone, to Sunday's edition of the Fun of Boss podcast. I am your host, the Final Boss. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. And good night to everyone who is tuning in. Thank you for being a part of tonight's episode of the Final Boss podcast. Episode number 54. Episode number 54. Tonight's episode, Earth as a grain of sand. Episode number 54, Earth as a grain of sand. I hope everyone has had a fantastic week this week. There are a lot of things that are happening around our world. Very interesting concepts that are taking place. A lot of visual stimuli. But I come to you as a reminder to hold and stay focused. Stay focused with the mission at hand. The mission at hand is to stay focused. No fear. And to my smarts out there, thank you for joining us. And everyone else, if you get a chance, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get started, stay balanced, stay equal, and stay smart. I'm going to repeat that throughout the show. We got a great show for you tonight. Listen, man, we're a grain of salt, a grain of salt, a grain of sand on a beach. We are an atom in the vastness of this great universe. And we don't act like it. The level of disrespect that we have for this beautiful planet that houses us, it's unfathomable. Unfathomable. It truly is. But before we get started, I'd like to give you guys my brass tacks for tonight. And my brass tacks is actually related to our topic. We're going to be talking about Earth tonight and a little bit of science. And keep this number in mind, 186,000 miles per second, 186,000 miles per second. That is the speed of light, if I'm not mistaken. My memory serves me correct. 186,000 miles per second is the speed of light. Brass tacks. Earth has to laugh at humans because they always act as if they own it. While in reality, they come and go while Earth remains. They called me theirs. Whoso controlled me, yet everyone wished to stay and is gone. How am I theirs? If they cannot hold me, but I hold them. The way we relate to nature remains a concern, maybe now more than ever. If any pandemic crisis has ever showed us, it has showed us one thing. It may be that the world becomes more beautiful, a more beautiful place when people take a step back. While the human world came to a stop during COVID-19 and any other pandemic, nature revived. Air became cleaner, silence returned, and so forth and so on. That's the brass tacks for tonight. Tonight's show, Earth as a grain of sand. We're going to be embarking on a cosmic journey, because I love science, exploring a sheer scale of the known universe and contemplating our place within it, because we don't know our place. We've lost our place. We've lost our place. We're going to be examining the analogy of Earth as a single grain of sand on a vast beach and consider the implications of this perspective on our treatment of our planet. We're going to start with the basics, man. The basics. Ask yourself, what exactly is the observable universe? How big is it? Neil deGrasse talks about these things all the time, and I love a lot of his talking points. So I'll be bringing up some of his talking points throughout the show tonight. The observable universe is the portion of the universe that we can currently see. Remember that speed of light. That's what you can see from point A to point B, from what you can see to how far you can see and how fast it takes to get out there. 186,000 miles per second. Limited by distance, light has had time to travel to us since, people say the Big Bang Theory, if you believe in that. Given the universe's age of approximately 13.8 billion years, and the fact that the universe is expanding, the observable universe's diameter is estimated to be around 93 billion light years. This is a mind-boggling distance beyond you and I's comprehension. Just think about that for a second, right? You could take the space between my two nails, and let's say your neighborhood is the known universe. This space between my two nails is Earth. That's the grain of sand. And we need to do better about taking care of this place because we don't own it. We're just visiting. We're just visiting. So there are a lot of galaxies out there. They're talking about the new telescope, the James Webb, has found thousands upon thousands of galaxies. Thousands, with possibilities of, you can't even imagine the livable planet zones. Like Earth is in the livable planet zones. A lot of these galaxies have livable planet zones and climates and things that they have found, the different gases that not only are produced from trees like carbon dioxide, but the gases that are produced from living things. It is really an amazing thing to think about. But there are thousands of galaxies on top of thousands of galaxies out there. How many are out there in the observable universe? What are some of those characteristics? I just mentioned those. Current estimates suggest that there are perhaps even billions, if not trillions, of galaxies. These galaxies are not uniformly distributed. They tend to cluster together in large structures called galaxy structures and superclusters. Galaxies vary significantly in size, shape, and composition. Spiral galaxies, like our Milky Way, have a characteristic spiral structure with arms containing young stars and gas. Elliptical galaxies are more spherical or elongated and contain older stars. Irregular galaxies lack a defined shape and often exhibit intense star formations. Now, when we take a look at our own galaxy, the Milky Way, does anyone know? Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. We we don't do we know offhand? Does any of my smarts out there know offhand the size of our own galaxy, the Milky Way? If anybody knows, throw it in the chat. I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes. I have the answer. I just want to know if anybody has. All right, I give you guys enough time. The Milky Way is approximately 100 to 120,000 light years in diameter. It contains hundreds of billions of stars, vast clouds of gas and dust, and dark matter. Our solar system resides in a spiral arm called the Orion arm, about 2/3 of the way out from the galactic center. Since we're focusing on our solar system right now, how does it even compare to the size of the Milky Way and the observable universe? Well, let me tell you. The solar system, with its 8 planets and other celestial bodies, is incredibly tiny compared to the rest of the Milky Way. The Milky Way, in turn, is a speck within the vastness of the observable universe. Think about that. Think about that. If the Milky Way were the size of a large city, our solar system will be smaller than a single grain of sand within that city. And that city will be a teeny speck on a planet the size of the observable universe. That think about that. Like for real. Think about it. Considering the immense scale, one has to ask, how does Earth fit into this picture? The grain of sand. That's our topic tonight. How accurate is it? The analogy of Earth as a grain of sand on a vast beach is remarkably accurate in conveying the relative insignificance of Earth's size compared to the universe. However, this doesn't diminish the importance of Earth. It's a unique oasis of life, and we need to do better in caring for it. It's precious, it's fragile. The ecosystem that harbors an incredible diversity of life forms, including ours, humanity. Despite its small size, Earth is very unique. What makes it so special? Why is it so important for us to protect it? I was wondering about that this week, which brought me to today's topic. the conversation that was just had this past week in the White House, where our president had mentioned World War III several times. Thinking about World War III brought me to the idea of tonight's topic. Earth has a unique combination of factors that makes it inhabitable. Liquid water, a protective atmosphere, a stable climate, and a complex biosphere. All these things are very crucial to have life on this planet. It's a delicate balance of these factors is what makes Earth so special and so vital. And we must continue to protect it. Now, mind you, there are no policies, and I'm going to say this again. There are no policies, no regulations, no organization, no regulation, no policy, no organization that can stop what nature will continuously grow in or engage in. You can't stop nature. What this planet has planned for the planet will continue. You can't stop the earthquakes, the volcanic eruptions, the erratic weather patterns. It can't be stopped. There's no agency, policy, or regulation on this planet that can stop nature or Earth from doing what nature and Earth is going to do. You can't change it. For too long, man has tried to stop Earth from, as the kids would say, Earth from earthing. You can't stop. We have to learn how to respect it and embrace it. We have to learn how to respect it and embrace it. Yeah, I love the Dark Tower. That's a great book and great movie. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So, since I mentioned that, we're going to talk about how fragile Earth's ecosystems are. What are the sum of the key threats facing our planet? Smarts, think about that. What are the outside of man? Because man is the biggest threat. Outside of man, what are some of the key threats facing our planet? You know what? Man is the biggest threat. Let's face it. Man is the biggest threat to our planet. Climate change caused by emission of greenhouse gases, rising global temperatures, frequent and intense extreme weather events, and the rise of the sea level. Population and various sources contaminates air, water, and soil, harming not only our health, but the ecosystems that we're surrounded by. Deforestation is a big one, and habitat destruction are leading to biodiversity loss and disrupting ecological balance. Over exploitation of natural resources is another one. It's depleting finite resources and threatening long-term stability. For what? For what? Do we really need more money than we already have? How much more money do some of these multi-billion dollar organizations and people need? Is it necessary for you to become a trillionaire in this lifetime? We're on the verge of seeing multiple trillionaires on the books. I say on the books because they're, I don't believe royalty is counted and calculated in those numbers, as a lot of the royal kingdoms surpass billions every year. So, and we're not going to talk about the royal family that's been in power since, I don't have those numbers right now, but you get the point. My smarts, you already know. You have to ask yourself, how are our activities contributing to these threats? What are the potential consequences of inaction? Our activities as humans, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, and industrial processes, and unsustainable agricultural practices, are the primary drivers of climate change and environmental degradation. I messed that word up. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It happens. This is live. So it happens. I was watching MSNBC the other day on Morning Joe, and they had a lot of people say, "Hey man, I'm gonna go off topic for a second. You when you're on live, people say you have the oohs, the ahs, and the ums." I'm like, and I've studied other shows and lives and podcasts that are live. Everyone does it across the board. Everyone does it across the board. It's a practice. And as a practice, when you get anything you practice, you get better at. So it's one of the things that I am working on to get better at. Also, if you didn't know, a lot of times when people are going live, they have materials in front of them that they're reading from. It's it's you know, it's it's like having a teleprompter in front of you. You read from it. So, try to talk about a particular subject for a whole hour without any assistance by regurgitating material from the top of your head. It's not as easy as some may think, but it is possible. But let's get back to the topic. I had to throw that out there. There are consequences for inaction, and those consequences are severe and far reaching, including more frequent and intense extreme weather events, widespread displacement of populations, disruptions to food security. That's a big one. That's a big one. And irreversible damage to ecosystems. You hear a lot of talk now. Food shortages, food shortages, food shortages. I believe Turkey we just imported some eggs from Turkey. I won't be eating those eggs, but I'm just saying. Out of all the chicken farms that we have in America, we're importing eggs. I find that to be quite interesting. But you know, given the vastness of the universe and the unique nature of Earth, how does humanity's treatment of this planet reflect on us? How does it reflect on us? What would you grade us from A to E on how we treat our planet? What grade would you give us? Drop it in the box. What grade would you give us? From a cosmic perspective, humanity's treatment of Earth is deeply concerning. Our actions demonstrate a lack of respect for the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystem and a disregard for the long term consequences of our unsustainable practices. Yeah, think about that, man. What grade would you give us? If you're in the chat, drop us a grade. What grade would you give us on how we treat uh our planet? A D plus. Man, we got to do better. We have got to do better. We have definitely have to do better. We have got to do better. What are some examples of human activities that demonstrate a lack of respect for Earth? C minus. Okay. All right. I see you on that. C minus. Okay. Okay. C minus D plus. There's a D. You average out. All right. Deforestation of the Amazon rainforest. Pollution of the oceans. If you don't know this, there's a mile-long patch of trash. A mile-long patch of trash in the Pacific Ocean. And it's growing. And it is growing. They talk about all of the microplastics that we have consumed that are in our bodies. We're polluting the earth. We're polluting ourselves. We have got to do better. We've got to do better. Unsustainable fishing practices leading to the depletion of fish stocks and the emission of greenhouse gases causing climate change. Y'all don't think climate change is real? The earth is already changing. What we're adding to it is just speeding up the process. That's what's happening. It's speeding up the process. I don't know how many of you guys are in the DMV or in the East Coast, but last night we had 20-mile-per-hour winds. It was crazy. It was crazy all night long, man. I'm telling you, we have to do better. We have to do better. Because the earth is going to be here. The question is if we as humans are going to be here. Because the earth is going to be here. We need to have a fundamental shift in perspectives. We have to move away from the mindset of exploitation and one that's towards stewardship. To do this, education. I'm sorry. The earth is going to eat us. I believe that. We have to do one, like I said, towards stewardship. This requires education, raising awareness about environmental issues, and promoting sustainable practices. Now, with the technology we have right now and currently, we can help have technology bless address some of these environmental challenges. You have to ask, how can technology help us become better stewards of this planet? Static. Okay. I hear you. Technology will play a crucial role in addressing environmental challenges. Renewable energy technologies, solar, wind, geothermal, can help reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. Improved agricultural practices can enhance food production while minimizing environmental impact. Advanced monitoring technologies can help us track pollution and environmental changes. And I also believe that these companies that are polluting, you want to talk about tariffs. Let's put bigger tariffs on these companies that continuously pollute our environment. How about that? Let's charge it to the game with to them. It's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to take care of this land for our children's children. We're on borrowed time right now. We're borrowing it from our children right now. Think about that. Think about that right there. What are some practical steps individuals can take to reduce their environmental impact? Individuals can make a difference by reducing their energy consumption, conserving water, choosing sustainable transportation options, reducing waste, and supporting environmental friendly businesses. I believe with all these new policies that are taking place, people are taking a stand against companies that are against certain policies. Last week, protesters decided to take a stand to not spend money. And in that, people had videos of different stores that were empty, gas stations with no cars in it. It's all over social media. My smarts, I don't need to go any further into that. But sometimes you just have to take a stand and stand in what you believe in. And since we're protesting these businesses that are against some of our causes and the things that we believe in, we may as well look at protesting against companies that harm our environment. Add that to the list. Add it to the list. Now, those are individual roles. We have to think of and corporations, but we have to talk about government as well. And we have to talk about the corporations that play up their part too. Governments have a crucial role in implementing policies and regulations to protect the environment. They have to incentivize sustainable practices and hold polluters accountable. Corporations have a responsibility to adopt sustainable business practices, reduce their environmental footprint, and invest in clean technologies. We have to do this. It's not just for us, it's for our children, it's for the ancestors that come after us. We're somebody's ancestors. They're not here yet, but they will be here. We have to do better. The long-term vision for a sustainable future, what does that look like? What kind of world do we want to leave for our future generations? The long-term vision for a sustainable future involves a global transition to a low carbon economy, the protection and restoration of ecosystems, and the equitable distribution of resources. We need to create a world where future generations can thrive within the limits of our planet's resources. And there's a thing that we do often. We fix we fix a problem and create a new problem. I said it before in a previous podcast where I was talking about the problems that came from the horse and carriage transportation. We started with horses and carriages. But as we built cities, the manure became a problem. So to fix the manure problem, they had people who came up and behind the horse and carriages and cleaned up the manure. From there, someone said, you know what? It's time to move on past the horse and carriage and create a vehicle, a car. Now we don't have a manure problem. Now we have the problem with pollution. And my smarts, the story goes on and on and on from there. What is the long-term vision? The long-term vision. The long-term vision. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work. That's something that if you care, something you should be thinking about. The earth is fragile. Our ecosystem is fragile. The temperature of human beings as a whole is fragile. There are wars on top of wars on top of wars, with more wars coming. We keep hearing the talk of World War III. It's biblical. It's in conversations. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. We see the different moves that our political appointed people are making around the world. And they're doing it without the consideration of a lot of different people. But this is our planet. We're all responsible. We are all responsible. Our place in the universe is humbling, but our responsibility to protect our planet is immense. We need to act now to ensure a sustainable future for generations to come. You're correct. Climate change is part of Earth's natural process. But the damage that we're also doing is speeding up a lot of these processes. And you're right, it cannot be stopped. We do not control the earth. We don't. We don't control the earth. We do not control the earth. That's that's something that I believe mankind has not learned to date. They just haven't learned it. You and I may have learned it, or there are a lot of others out there that may have learned it. But as a whole, those who are in power, those who treat the earth as a money grab, I don't believe they care. They're here to get their money, pass on their legacy, and pass on their fortunes so they can stay in control and their name lives on. That's it. But what happens when we have an ELE event? An event is an ELE, extension level event. What happens then? Right? What happens if our disrespect of our planet speeds the process up to us having an ELE event? Mass floods, tsunamis, erratic volcano activity, earthquakes, strange weather patterns. What if we're speeding up the process? Where does your legacy go then? The earth is still going to be here. And humanity has been wiped out before. And the earth continues to thrive. It continues to change. It is always changing like a living entity. It is always changing. There's a new ocean that will appear probably in the next 10 to 20 years because there's a split on the continent of Africa that started some years ago, but over time has increased in size and speed. The earth is always changing. We need to learn how to respect it. We need to learn how to respect it because in the universe vastness, we're just a grain of sand on this blue dot. We're just a grain of sand. Some of my resources for tonight come from NASA's website, The Observable Universe. You can go to nasa.com and check out NASA's astrophysics section and different articles on the observable universe. Go to space.com. There are relevant articles out there as well. You want to learn about the Milky Way? That's out there too. NASA's astrobiology program is also on NASA's website. There are different scientific articles and reports on the impacts of climate change and environmental destruction. All that information is readily available at your fingertips. Please do your due diligence. Think about this planet as it is our planet, not a you planet, a me planet. It's an our planet. I think some of our leaders don't really get this concept. They're too busy making money. But what do you do when there's no money to be made? Because we've experienced or will be experiencing a ELE event. And if you don't know what an ELE event is, it's an extinct level event. Extinct level event. They're talking about an asteroid the size of, I don't know, maybe, I want to say like Rhode Island, will come into close proximity of Earth in the year 2028, or perhaps even hit Earth in 2028. That's only 3 years from now, if this thing was to come true. But they've been saying something like this for a very long time, but we've been very lucky. We have been very lucky. But, you know, maybe this time we won't be so lucky. Then what? What do you do? How do you prepare for that? No money no amount of money in the world can stop. A tsunami is an ELE event, correct? No amount of money in the world can stop that. Nothing. Nothing. An ELE is a hypothetical scenario. Just, said that. Where an event causes the extinction of the human species or a significant portion of life on Earth. While the term often evokes dramatic imagery of asteroid impacts or supervolcanoes, the reality is more nuanced. ELEs can stem from various causes, both natural and human induced. Here's some key aspects. If an asteroid was to hit Earth and we had an asteroid impact, that impact could trigger a widespread devastation, including tsunamis, wildfires, prolonged impact winters, and mass extinctions. Supervolcano eruptions. A supervolcano could release massive amounts of ash and gases into the atmosphere, causing a global volcanic winter and significant climate disruption, potentially leading to widespread crop failures and societal collapse. The Toba super eruption is notable as an example. GRBs. If you don't know what a GRB is a gamma ray burst, a highly energetic explosion in distant galaxies. Could potentially damage Earth's ozone layer, leading to increased UV radiation and harming life as we know it. The probability of a GRB impacting Earth is relatively low, but the consequences are still catastrophic. Climate change. Here's the one. While currently exacerbated by human activity, natural climate shifts have occurred throughout Earth's history. It's natural. But sometimes it leads to significant extinctions. These shifts can be caused by variations in solar radiation, volcanic activity, or changes to Earth's orbit. I was reading an article the other day. I wish I can cite it as a source, but they were talking about the avionics and the planes and how something is going on in the atmosphere that's affecting a lot of the avionics of these planes, and the reason why these planes are acting abnormal. I'll use that word. But something's going on. We haven't been told. I'm quite sure they know, as they always do. But they don't tell us because the fear of mass panic, which to me is so laughable. I'm like, just give us the information. We're a lot stronger. Society is a lot stronger than it once was. Give us the information. Let us know what's going on. Don't wait until the last minute to say, oh, the asteroid will be here in 2 weeks. Or a chain of volcanoes are going to erupt in the next 12 hours. No, you cause mass panic doing that. Give us the information now so we can prepare. And if there's nothing we can do, at least we can enjoy our families, pray to our Heavenly Father, and move on with whatever's going to happen. Because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And that's the real final boss. And that's going to be our show for tonight. Tune in on Tuesday, this Tuesday, where my guest, the sensei, will be back, as he is every Tuesday. And we're going to have something that we like to call Free Spirited episode. It's a topic without a script, with a topic or a show without a topic. We're just going to be free. We do that every now and again. We did one in season 1 and it did really well. So it was a freestyle. We're going to do another freestyle on Tuesday. So tune in for that. And this Thursday, my special guest this Thursday, a good young sir named Saeed L. He's going to be talking about he has become sovereign in this country. And he wants to bring that information to you. And he's going to bring it to you here on The Final Boss. So tune in for that on Thursday. And you can catch us each and every week, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, live at 9 p.m., where we have the most difficult of conversations. Oh, I got a couple more minutes. But before I go, I'm going to bring this topic up. Nuclear war. Nuclear war. All the countries are constantly and continuously using the threat of nuclear war. If you don't know what a nuclear war is, a nuclear war is a large scale nuclear war that could lead to a nuclear winter, similar to a volcanic winter, with widespread devastation and potential for societal collapse. In that, other issues can also be caused: bioengineered pandemics and more climate change, of course. But man, we're here and we're here now. Let's see what we can do to prevent these things from happening. If the earth is going to do its thing, allow it to do its thing. There's no course of action that will change that. Like I said before, there's no agency, there's no regulation, there's no policy, there's no government on this planet that can change that. But we have to do our part in being and continue in improving being environmentally friendly to the only place we live on this blue speck, this little dot in the vastness of the universe. This right here between my fingernail is Earth in the vastness of the universe. That's our show for tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope you took notes. Thank you for tuning in, per usual. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We have more episodes on the way. And on the way are more episodes. Stay balanced, stay equal, stay smart. I'm the Final Boss, and this is the Final Boss Podcast. You have a good night.